Today is March the 12th. It is at 6:00 p.m. and we are here for the first quarter meeting for the Animal Control Advisory Board. Call the order. It's 6 o'clock, correct? Yes. Roll call. I am present. I am Assistant Chief Ashley with the Michigan City Police Department.
I am present. I am Julie Holbrook. I am Senior Officer for Animal Control.
I am present. I am Karen Edwards, and I am with the Michigan Humane Society.
Notably absent is Dr. Rex Bailey with the Michigan City Animal Hospital. I had received actually an email from him on the 28th of February advising that he had a scheduling conflict and he could not be here. Also notably absent is the Common Council member. I'm not certain exactly who that will be, but I have not received any correspondence from that person yet. But we do have a quorum.
We do.
Before you, you'll see minutes from September the 26th, 2019. And that's the third quarter meeting for last year. In the future, I will be sending these out via email. I did not do that this time, but if you don't mind just looking them over briefly. And let me know exactly if you notice any necessary corrections.
I don't think so.
Looks good. Can I entertain a motion to accept the minutes from September 26th of 2019?
Motion.
Do you have a second?
Second.
No nays. Motion carried. We have unfinished business. Reports from the canceled fourth quarter 2019 meeting. I will actually be deviating from the agenda on that because I felt it was more appropriate to actually put that into new business. However, I want to thank the board for your patience in this transition, and I truly appreciate your understanding what me having to cancel that fourth quarter meeting last year. New business. New advisory board members. So I am the only one that's here today, and I just want to say that I'm excited about the opportunity to be able to serve on this board. Of course, this is new, so I'm going to be learning from all of you. I'm going to be learning from all of the volunteers, but I'm excited about doing that and working with our community to be able to do something actually for not only the citizens, but also our animals that's in our city. So thank you for the opportunity. Hopefully we'll be able to meet maybe next meeting our new Common Council member because we're excited about working with that person as well.
Yeah.
Animal Control Advisory Board Policy Overview. So if you go to your paperwork that I provided, and I wanted to show you that I had received information about our policy. And this is the reason why I've actually made mention of the overview. If you got the paper in front of you, it says the Michigan City Police Department policy. Do you all have a copy of it at all? Okay. For the public, I'm just going to hand you. I do have a couple extra ones if you like. Okay. Yeah. And I had looked at it. It's our policy number 83 in our, and it tells us exactly what the board's job is. And I wanted to make sure that we was actually compliant with that. And I wanted to actually hear from you if this is something that we were doing, or is it something that's new to you? Because I had never seen this before prior to being transitioned into this position myself. But I did find it, so I wanted to make sure that we at least looked it over so that we will know what the citizens will know concerning the sport as well. Okay, so we're just going to read it really briefly. It says these are the Animal Control Advisory Board. The Animal Control Board is hereby established and shall have the following duties. The first one is to report to or be responsible to the Mayor and Common Council of Michigan City. 2, to recommend proposed policies, principles, standards, and regulations for the control and humane treatment of domestic animals within the city. 3, to review and make recommendations on the improved enforcement of the terms of this chapter and to the Common Council as to ordinances necessary for the care, control, and treatment of all domestic animals within the city. And 4, to submit to the Mayor and Common Council a written report annually regarding its activities and recommendations. B, part of this is its membership of the Animal Control Board. This is for all of us. The Animal Control Board shall be comprised of 5 members. The presence of 3 members of the board shall be necessary to constitute a quorum. Membership on the board shall be established as follows. 1, the chief of police or their designee to be appointed by the mayor. 2, the director of the Animal Control Department. 3, a member of the board of directors of the Humane Society of Michigan City to be appointed by the Common Council. 4, a licensed veterinarian to be appointed by the mayor. 5, a member of the Common Council appointed by the Common Council. Terms of board members. 1, it says the members of the Animal Control Board shall serve at the pleasure of the appointing authority, and each member shall serve until a qualified successor is duly appointed. The initial term of appointment shall be as follows. Mayoral appointments. 1 for 1 year, 1 for 2 years, and 1 for 3 years. Common Council appointments. The Humane Society appointment shall be for 3 years. The Common Council member shall be an annual appointment. Each term expires on the first Monday in January of the appropriate years and following the initial appointments. All terms shall be for a period of 3 years. Meetings, agendas, and minutes of the Animal Control Board. 1, the board shall meet not less often than on a quarterly basis each calendar year. The chief of police or his or her designee shall be designated the chairperson of the board, and at the first meeting of each year, the members of the board shall elect a vice chairperson and any other officers deemed necessary by the board. 2, special meetings may be called by the chairperson upon the written request of at least 2 board members. 3, an agenda shall be prepared 10 days prior to the meeting and forwarded to all board members, the city clerk's office, the city attorney's office, the mayor's office, the Common Council, the Michigan City Animal Control Department, and the media. And 4, minutes of the board meetings shall be maintained and copies of the minutes shall be forwarded to all board members, the city clerk's office, the city attorney's office, the mayor's office, the Common Council, and the Michigan City Animal Control Department within 10 days following a meeting of the committee. This is policy number 83, like I said, that I found in the Michigan City Department policies. I did try to speak to the former chairperson just to see if we were actually doing what it says that we're supposed to be doing, and I was told not to the spirit of this. So I just wanted to make sure that if we need to do any language changes, if we had any changes, we will be able to do that as a board together, and it won't be just me doing it myself, but you'll have your input as well to be able to say this is something that we can change. So we don't have to do this today, okay. But you have it in front of you, and I'm just going to ask that you actually make those corrections and say, hey, we never did this before, or we did do this, or if there's something that's left out of this that you think should be added, then I need your help with that. Okay. Okay? Is that okay? Yep. To be able to do that? All right, wonderful. The review of the Michigan City Animal Control Activities Fourth Quarter 2019 Report by Animal Control Officer Julie Holbrook.
All right. So this is for the month of October, November, and December. Animal bites for dogs, we had 4. For cats, we had 1. Neglect cases, we had 2. Our total dog impounds for that quarter was 74. Our cat impound was 65, 1 rat, 1 rabbit, and 1 turtle. Dogs transported to LaPorte County Small Animal Shelter were 7. Dogs transported to Michiana Humane Society were 7. Cats transported to Michiana Humane Society were 5. Cats transported to Freed's Cat Shelter were 25. Rat to Freed's 1. Turtle to Freed's 1. Rabbit to Freed's 1. Dogs to Lakeshore Paws was 3. Cats transported to Porter County Animal Shelter was 20. We impounded 3 deceased animals. Euthanized animals were 3. Animals reclaimed were 64, and citations issued that quarter were 32.
Busy, huh?
That's not our busiest quarter.
That's not the busiest
That
quarter.
is probably the slowest one.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Wow. To me, that seems busy. I'll be doing the review of the third and fourth quarters of the 2019 intake reports for fund disbursement. For Fried's Cat Shelter, or Freed's, is that the way we... Freed's, thank you. Cat Shelter, third quarter, they had 59 cats taken in. Fourth quarter, they had 27 cats, and then they had other. They had 3 animals, which she talked about, the rabbit, the rat, and a turtle. For LaPorte County Small Animal Shelter, the third quarter, they had 8 dogs and no cats. And for the fourth quarter, they had 5 dogs and no cats. And for the Michiana Humane Society, for the third quarter, they had 16 dogs and 11 cats. And for the fourth quarter, they had 8 dogs and 5 cats. Can I entertain a motion to accept those reports for reimbursement?
Yes.
Was that a first?
Motion.
Yes.
Motion?
Second.
Okay, thank you. No nays, motion carried. And now we have a report from the Michigan City Animal Control Kennel Volunteer Report. Ms. Julie Sosa.
Okay, thank you. Fourth quarter for volunteer visits, we had 45, and of those 45, 17 of them were joint visits, so there was at least 2 volunteers there teaming up together. We had a big assist with the cat situation in the last part of the quarter. Since the last meeting, the doggy doors were installed, and that was wonderful because it's very helpful when we've had a skittish dog or maybe a dog that the volunteers shouldn't handle right away. So it seems like that door is working beautifully, and absolutely love it. And those are rare situations, but once in a while it happens, so it's nice to be able to move the dog or to prep a kennel for the volunteers and prepare their food and water in their blanket, and then get them into a clean kennel and then take care of their old kennel. So it's a lot better that way. A couple of things that we had thought about or that have come up kind of recently, and this is just an idea to add to the kennel. I think most of us know what an essential oil diffuser looks like, or if you don't, here's what it looks like. This is a real inexpensive one. This was just from like Bed Bath & Beyond, but I've been doing a little bit of research on how having an essential oil diffused in animal shelters and situations, animal control, with the lavender oil can really help relax the animals and so forth. And not to say that the research is done yet, but I've been looking into it, and there's ones that you can get that are on like an 8-hour timer. So say when Julie Holbrook's there in the morning and taking care of the animals, you know, making sure the water's full. Again, this is a cheaper one, but it would look similar to this, but it would be bigger and it would hold more water. To be able to just flip it on, and then it shuts off after 8 hours. So, you know, things go on with your day and so forth, and we don't have to worry about it, you know, being unattended and that kind of thing. But it's just something I'm wondering if the board would consider, because I've heard that other shelters and so forth have really good results, and since it is not a huge building, one diffuser could help. Have you seen this, Karen, or heard about it?
I've kind of heard negative things about it,
Okay.
because the cats, I mean, they're very sensitive when it comes to their breathing, and it could cause some respiratory problems.
Okay.
And it could cause lung damage. But I think it might depend on the certain oil that you use too. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So before, I don't know how you guys feel, but before I move forward, I'd like to look into that further, because I know they're not there for a long period of time, and I don't know how long, you know, if that's even
Right.
true. So I do,
Okay.
Deanna and I've actually been looking into that because
Gotcha.
she's had a problem with her cat.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
would
don't,
like to.
definitely don't want to pass. And I know
Right.
like tea tree oil is not, like, you definitely don't want to use tea tree, but they say lavender.
Right, I think a certain oil is okay.
Yeah.
And I want to make, and I'm sure you've
Just
done the
something
research.
to consider maybe.
Oh, yeah,
or
absolutely.
look into.
Absolutely. There's also, you mean like for a calming
Yes.
thing?
Yes.
Because there's also those, I can't think of what they're called right now. It's a plug-in. Like for pheromones that we've used at our shelter. To just kind of calm down a little bit. You don't need to be so aggressive and so, freaked out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't affect them at all. So, but no, I would like to look into that, and I mean, it's more natural, and see what comes out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And then also, just another thing to consider might be a sprinkler system down the road. I have no idea what the cost is. I was going to try to look into that before the meeting, or maybe talk to someone that knows that. But because there's laundry there and different appliances and so forth, and the building's unattended, it just might be something to consider to have in the building, because if there was ever a fire, knock on some wood, or anything happened, there would be nothing in the building. So maybe just for the next meeting, we could kind of look at, just get a ballpark idea of what that would. Does the Humane Society have?
We looked into it, but it was pretty costly to have the sprinkler system in.
Yeah.
We've got notification if there's any kind of smoke.
Right.
Somehow we can be informed. We have smoke alarms, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, I don't think we even have a smoke alarm in there, but those are very inexpensive. I'm sure we could definitely do
Yeah,
that.
I
But
definitely recommend putting.
have it alert us somehow, since it's an unmanned,
Yeah.
they've got all that technology with smartphones, and I'm
Yeah.
sure we can figure something
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I think you should have something in
And
there.
I'm 5 minutes away, so.
Yeah. Yeah, or maybe it could even be tied into the fire department.
Yeah, alerted.
At
Yeah.
least, so. And then lastly, and I'm sorry we missed the first meeting, or minute of the meeting, but Audrey Donaldson is one of our newer volunteers, I think, since our last
Yeah, it's been,
May meeting.
Yeah.
So thank you for all of your hard work.
Yes.
Thank you. And that's it for the volunteer report.
Thank you, Ms. Sosa. And I just wanted to personally thank you for reaching out to me and supplying me with all of your knowledge. And I truly look forward to working with you too. So thank you so much. Thank you. We truly appreciate all the volunteers. We did get a chance to meet her prior to you getting here. And we're just looking forward to just working together and just making great things happen. So that's what we're looking forward to do. Yeah?
Yep.
Good.
Definitely.
Do we have any public comments? I'm ready.
This is just for the record, Richard Sosa, Michigan City Police Department. August 24th will be 28 years. I just want to say our animal control officers are excellent. It's been 28 years of that time in the patrol division. I've seen our past, and I know what we are at the present and what the future will be. And our two animal control officers are outstanding.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Officer Sosa.
I do have to agree. I think we all agree. We've been here for many years, and we've seen a lot of good and a lot of bad. And you guys have excelled it too. And I've said it before. You've gained the community's trust, and I don't even know how to thank you for that.
Thank you, guys.
Like,
You
seriously.
make me blush on TV.
There you go. About to cry and everything. Well, thank you for those comments. We really appreciate it. Any other public comments? Okay. Any board comments?
I just maybe wanted to respond to what Julie said. Also, there was discussion, and there'll be discussion in the future. I got to talk to Assistant Chief Ashley tonight before the meeting, and we're going to do some serious discussing with the kennel and the things that were talked about last year with updates and things. So I'm kind of glad you brought that up, because it looks like we're going to start trying to get serious about making that happen.
Well, like I told you guys before, reach out to us, because I can give you numbers of people that we use for our kennels and cat cages and stuff like that. And we, for organizations like us and yourself, they do offer good discounts as well. So yeah, definitely get hold of me.
Definitely will.
The dog fenced-in area in the back with the canopy is fantastic.
Yeah.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, if you could even have some outdoor runs just to
Yeah.
get them some fresh air and wear them out.
And did Action Fence do that? Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, they did our dog park, they did everything.
Right.
So, yeah, definitely look into them. I'll get you a whole bunch of numbers.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Any more?
I would like to actually welcome you aboard.
Thank you.
And again, we look forward to working with you. We're not going to work against you. We're going to work with you.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll get the policies. We'll go over it and we'll start fresh.
We appreciate that. Thank
We'll
you.
have fun.
Thank you. And then I'll also say something as well. You know, we cannot do this without the public support. Donations, we are always accepting. On behalf of the animal control, I'd like to be able to be the first one to say we are accepting all donations, and that we cannot function without the help of the citizens, without the help of the volunteers. So I really would like for you to reach out to Ms. Julie Holbrook and also Natalie Howe, our animal control officers who are out there pretty much every day looking out for our animals of our city. They could use your help to report. They can use your help for donations. They can use your help for volunteer. Whatever you can do to help, we are accepting it. Please get a hold of them. They can reach on their Facebook page, correct?
Yep.
Okay, would you like to tell them what that is?
Is Michigan City Animal Control Services.
Michigan City Animal Control Services. All right.
Hey, what do you think about putting, like, on your Facebook page things that you guys are looking for?
I have.
Oh,
You
okay.
can ask Julie. Several times now I've made a post for volunteers because it's the silliest thing when I'm out on the streets. People will tell me all the time, I want to help. I would love to come. And I tell them, you know, it's a simple thing, just coming and petting the dogs.
Right,
I mean, that's,
right.
we don't even need you to do a whole lot, even if you just can come once or twice a month and take a couple of them for a walk or give them some attention. But then I put a post out on the Facebook page and we don't get any phone calls. So,
Well, how would you feel if I shared some of our volunteers? Because we have volunteers that, you know, they just want to pet the animals. They don't.
yes, I mean,
I could definitely send them your way.
we're going to get very busy here in
Yes,
about a month.
yes.
And you know, because
Yes.
we can't clean out our kennel as fast as we're bringing them in.
Right.
And our poor volunteers last summer were working almost full-time right along with us as volunteers because they went out with us on hoarding cases and things like that because we just don't have the manpower
Right.
that we need, you know.
Right.
And it's not all the time, but like I said, it's even if it's just coming and walking dogs,
Right.
you know, on the weekends,
Right.
or if you can only do it once a month, that's great, you know. It's no
Well, yeah, the
schedule or
animals appreciate
anything. Yeah.
You know.
It's
And
so
I think it's also important that the community understands you don't have to go into it alone. That was one of my fears.
yeah.
Is, oh my gosh, what if the dog doesn't like me? Or what if that? Julie, you guys have been amazing as far as, hey, just let me know when you want to go. I'll meet up with you.
Yeah.
You know, if you're uncomfortable, don't do anything outside of your comfort level.
Absolutely.
So,
Right.
and it's so rewarding.
It is.
So I just hope the community gets more involved as well.
Right.
Do you think that we could probably put on maybe your Facebook page, maybe develop some of those questions that maybe they may have, the community, and then sometimes educating the public is the best that you can do. If you can educate them and say, hey, this is what we do, and really having that dialogue with them, maybe we will get the participants that we're looking
Right.
for.
Could just be intimidated or something.
Yeah, so that's a really good
Absolutely,
point,
yeah.
I think. So thank you for that, yeah. Because sometimes we don't think about that. We just go in, and we don't really think about what the fear may be or the reservations may be. So, yeah.
Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
think we can probably get something like that together?
Yeah, we can
That'd be
definitely
great.
do that.
Wonderful.
I'll try to work on that tomorrow.
Yeah, work on that, getting some questions and answers, popular questions and popular answers. Maybe even ask Miss Karen too, what, normally volunteers
What
would
they're
ask.
reserved about coming in about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be something because, like I said, when I'm out in the streets and people are trying to help me corral a dog or something, they're like, "Oh, are you guys hiring? Do you need volunteers?" Like they want to help,
Good.
and then it's like, but then when you reach out and try to,
Right,
you
there's something
get no
that's happening.
response, So it's silly. It just seems like maybe if we could get through to them
Yeah, I think if
somehow,
we started,
that there
maybe
would
do a
be,
weekly question.
yeah.
You know, and getting them to get more engaged in it too.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then we have a handbook too that goes through and answers lots of things. Once they go through the background check and fill out an application, because they have to do all that too, and get approved, through you. So then I go over the handbook with them. Julie and Natalie talk to them, and then go through that with them, and then do the training at the kennel, because then that's another aspect of it, and then go from there. So. And I do want to let you heed a warning now that you are in charge of this board. You will end up wanting to take an animal. Because we all had one that didn't get reclaimed and didn't belong to someone, but and went through the adoption process through one of the shelters after they were. So I'm just warning you, Chief Ashley, that you will end up with a dog or a cat.
Oh boy.
Or maybe a rat or a
rat or turtle. But really appreciate all of your comments. Is there anything else?
I don't think so.
Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All right. No nays. Thank you all for coming out. Meeting adjourned.